I'm Gary Weber, and we're at the Grotto of the Redemption in West Bend, Iowa. Father Doberstein built the grotto in 1912, and he was a German immigrant. He promised Blessed Mother if she'd make him better, he'd build a shrine in her honor. He got the rocks from all over the world, train loads, truckloads, and carloads. He built them in slabs, and then he had parishioners put them up into place. He started building in 1912, and he died in 1954. All he worked with was hand tools, mixed all the cement by hand, and then it went up that way, you know, just one rock at a time. Wanted to build it here because he was to be ordained a priest here at that time. In the later years, as I was growing up, the priest approached me and he says, "Would you like a job at the grotto?" And I said, "Yes, I would." And he says, "Well," he says, "I want you to help me build the Roman arch above Mary's Grotto in 1990. So we constructed the grotto. I mixed up all the cement myself. We carried 60-pound slabs of concrete and cement up the steps to the top. At that time, I was young enough that I only had a permit, I didn't have a driver's license, but he told me, he says, "We need to go down to get some rocks to the shed." And I said, "Well, I couldn't because I don't have a driver's license." And he says, "Okay," he said, "I'll come down, we'll go down and pick up the rocks." We went down and got the rocks, come back, finished the grotto up, and been working at the grotto ever since for 32 years. I repair the grotto. I put the rocks back into place, the rocks that come out. I put them all back. I rebuild the rosettes. I do anything that needs to be repaired on it. The pond was dug out by a scrape digger, and he done it all by horse and that digger out there. And when he went down, he was kind of a avid smoker too, Father Doberstein was. And so at that time, on the other side of the pond was a diving board. And he'd have a pack of cigarettes on the end of the diving board. He'd take a puff of cigarette, hold it in his lungs, dive down in the pond, and come up underneath this ice bathhouse here. At that time, they had a bathhouse there. And he would blow the smoke out, and he'd have another pack of cigarettes under the lighthouse. He'd take another puff, go back down into the arch, come back out in the middle of the pond, and blow back out again. And he would do that several times, but he would do that on his breaks. When he got tired and stuff and needed a break, he would do that. When he started building Mary's Grotto, he had 2 original black bears here at that time, real ones. His nephew had black bears at that time that he didn't want anymore, so he gave them to Father Doberstein. All the statues that are around here, he posed for each and every one of them himself. There's some rocks that are called Doberstein rocks. He made his own rocks out of pop bottles and crayons. He, like I said, he went all over, all over the world and got them from train loads, truckloads, and carloads, and brought them back here. And what he would do is close the school down, get all the kids out of school to help unload the trains. And then the next day they go back to school again until the next train come in and unload more rocks. And then what he did was he went all over the world, but he was a German immigrant from Germany that he didn't have a driver's license, so the guys that were helping him on the grotto would take him to like Montana, Wyoming, place like that. People out there load up the trains and haul them back to West Bend. But he got the train out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Is actually where the train came out of. The grotto is a shrine. It's caves. There are caves, and there's different sets of caves, but they're all tied into one. The grotto is open from March to October, and the gift shop is open all year round. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and see you soon.